Chosen ones, there is a sacred whisper moving toward you right now, and if these words have reached your eyes, it is not by chance. The divine has been watching the movements of your days, sensing the weight in your heart, and he is urging you to release something that has been quietly chaining your progress. This is deeper than what you do with your hands. It is rooted in the way you think, the way your spirit reacts, and the way your intentions shape your steps. You have been praying with hope, waiting for signs, asking for change, but there is something within you that must come to an end before the blessings waiting at your door can finally step into your life. The divine sees every hidden corner, and he is ready to elevate you into the next chapter of your calling. But before we go further, breathe, pause this moment like you would pause your breath. Touch the like, tap subscribe so our light can reach 10,000 souls, and write the number 99 below to ignite a vibration that sends your spirit's readiness out into the universe. If you are truly among the chosen, your heart will instinctively guide you to stay with me until the final word, because something inside you already knows this message carries your name. But take caution. If you are not ready to face your own truth, you may not be able to finish, though those who do will never again walk the world the same. Let us step inside this revelation. Chosen one, do you sense that soft inner murmur speaking beneath your thoughts? That is your divine path calling out, asking you to rise and become the expression of the purpose you were born to embody. Yet so many drown this calling beneath noise, routine, or small desires that fade as quickly as they come. But hear this clearly: the divine is fully aware of what your soul came here to fulfill, and he has been waiting for you to finally respond. Each time you turn away from what you were destined for, you dim the brilliance that was meant to illuminate others, and you keep your own spirit from blooming. It is time to stop drifting away from the truth of who you are. Every day you avoid your inner summons. You step out of alignment with the mission written within you. The universe stands ready to awaken you, but first, you must stop resisting what heaven has already unfolded before you. God knows your strength. He has shaped you for this hour. The moment is now to stop stepping back and instead walk with courage toward what has always been meant for you. Accept the divine path with open breath, and let the Creator lead you toward the life prepared for your spirit. God sees the immense force resting inside you. The energy you carry is not a random spark. It is a powerful current capable of building worlds or breaking them, depending on where you send it. Many lose this force to habits that do not lift their spirit, chasing pleasures that pass, leaving nothing behind, falling into distractions or impulses that scatter the mind. But when you consciously pull your energy toward growth, toward awakening, communion with the divine, and your entire life shifts. Redirecting your power is not about rejecting desire. It is about learning how to rule it. The divine knows your true strength awakens when you guide your energy instead of letting it control you. Every moment of discipline, every second used for growth, every effort placed on your mission becomes an offering to your future God. Watches your choices and honors your dedication to walking the sacred path of purpose. Through this redirection, you stop being governed by impulses and start living from a place of divine insight. God's plan is larger than any temptation. Trust the unfolding, trust the timing, and witness your life evolve in ways your mind could never predict. Your sexual energy, chosen one, is not simply tied to the body. It is a sacred flame, a holy current that can elevate you to higher realms or exhaust your spirit when misused. Too often this sacred fire is spent in ways that leave you emptier instead of fuller, yet God is aware of what sleeps inside this force. It was created for higher intentions, for creativity, revelation, and deep spiritual nourishment. Many ancient lineages recognized sexual energy as sacred, a bridge where the physical meets the divine. When treated with reverence, it can awaken inspiration, unlock new spiritual channels, and draw you closer to God. But misused, it disperses your essence and slows your spiritual ascent. God does not want this sacred fire wasted. He calls you to honor it, to redirect it toward your becoming. When you choose to honor and guide your sexual energy, you awaken a new level of spiritual clarity. Your awareness expands beyond the physical, and you tap into the divine creative essence living at your core. This is the flame that can launch you into your purpose, so do not throw it away. Embrace it, treat it as holy, use it to accelerate your awakening. Chosen one, understand that each day your body carries only a limited reservoir of energy, and the direction you choose for it shapes your destiny. Too often the world pulls our attention toward distractions, empty pursuits, meaningless desires, but God knows your potential, and He knows you are capable of turning your energy toward something far greater, your spiritual evolution. Each breath spent in alignment with your calling strengthens your bond with the divine. When you channel your energy into nurturing your soul through prayer, meditation, creativity, compassion, devotion, you return to the truth of who you are. This moment you live in is not for numb distractions, nor empty escapes. Your energy is sacred, and the way you use it forms your future. If you keep spending your force on what empties you instead of what builds you, you dim the divine radiance placed inside you. Stop scattering your power, bring it back into your spirit, and you will feel your life begin to align with purpose, clarity, and profound fulfillment. Celibacy is a path many misunderstand, especially in a world addicted to instant pleasure, but for the chosen, celibacy becomes a holy commitment, not meant to punish you, but to sharpen your spirit. When you choose this path, you are not rejecting yourself, you are elevating yourself, redirecting your power toward creation, transformation, and divine intimacy. God sees the strength required to walk this way, and He blesses your decision to rise above the noise of the world. It is through celibacy that clarity begins to echo within you. Creativity awakens, and your bond with God deepens as you learn to guide your desires. Instead of serving them, you discover a new understanding of your purpose and a heightened awareness of the calling resting on your life. Celibacy is not about suppressing your being, it is about honoring your essence and restoring your connection to the divine. Through this sacred discipline, you will uncover peace, clarity, and rapid spiritual acceleration. Trust that God walks beside you, guiding you as you fulfill your higher destiny. The world teaches a shallow view of sexual energy, treating it as nothing more than a momentary pleasure, a simple bodily urge. But the chosen know this: energy is a profound force that must be honored and directed with intention. God recognizes the magnitude of the fire you hold, and He calls you to channel it toward creativity, awakening, and the mission you came to earth to fulfill. When you use your sexual energy with consciousness, you enter alignment with divine creation. This sacred force can ignite your creative gifts, empower your spiritual practices, and elevate you into higher awareness. God gave you this energy for a sacred reason. It is a blessing, not a burden. When you treat it with reverence, you rise and you illuminate others. Stop seeing this energy as something meant to be emptied on temporary pleasure. View it instead as a divine catalyst that can lift your soul when directed toward your purpose. When your energy aligns with your mission, your life becomes filled with joy, fulfillment, and divine vision. Chosen one, God sees your strength, your battles, your dreams, and He knows your destiny stretches far beyond the distractions you sometimes fall into. Stop pouring your precious energy into empty moments and temporary escapes. Step away from what keeps you from your purpose. It is time to redirect your mind, your body, your spirit toward what calls you. Rise into your divine mission. The world is waiting for the light. Only you can bring. God already knows what lives inside you now. It is your turn to recognize it. Chosen one, this path is not about denying desire, it is about guiding desire, so your soul can rise. The impulses you feel are powerful, but if left without direction, they will pull you off your sacred path. Yet when you choose awareness, when you choose intention, when you choose to redirect your desires your spiritual growth opens in ways you never expected. God understands the hidden strength resting inside you, and He knows that when you learn to guide your energy with intention, you open doors to potentials far beyond anything your mind can currently imagine. Redirecting a desire is an art that asks for presence, maturity, and a deep awareness of what your soul came here to accomplish. When you stop allowing impulses to tug you in every direction, your vision clears and you begin to witness life through the eyes of your spirit. Instead of chasing sensations that vanish, like smoke, you begin to search for moments that nourish your essence and help your soul expand. This gentle shift in how you move will draw you closer to the divine and will naturally lead you toward your true spiritual assignment. As you turn your longings toward higher expressions, you will feel creativity rise, clarity awaken, and peace settle within you. When you step into this refined vibration, the reality around you transforms, pathways emerge, connections strengthen, and your life mirrors the divine frequency you have chosen to embody. Your ascent becomes not only personal but universal. As you step into harmony with the cosmic current of creation, learning to redirect your desires becomes the key that opens spiritual evolution greater than anything you could have dreamed. And God has been waiting for you to awaken to this ancient truth. Discipline may feel like weight to some, but to the chosen soul it becomes the sacred doorway that leads to destiny. God knows the resilience inside you, and He knows your spirit carries the capacity to cultivate true discipline. It is not meant to restrict you, but to align you with purpose. Discipline offers form to your journey, giving your days direction and grounding your steps in the path your soul came here to walk. Each moment you choose discipline, whether by calming your urges, shaping your thoughts, or dedicating time to communion with the divine, you are strengthening your sacred bond with heaven. The more devoted you become, the more clearly your path unfolds. God does not want you drifting without aim. He wants you to move with intention and clarity, and discipline is the tool that makes this possible. When you embody divine discipline, your entire life shifts. You stop reacting to the world around you and begin shaping your reality through the guidance of the Creator. Your words, your decisions, and your energy harmonize, and you begin to live the destiny crafted for your spirit. Discipline is not a cage. It is the freedom that comes from living in alignment with your highest calling. God sees what you can become now. It is time for you to witness it too. There is a hidden spiritual law that many overlook, and yet it holds the power to reshape your life from the inside out. Energy transmutation. This is the sacred art of lifting heavy or dense emotions and transforming them into something luminous, whether the energy comes from desire, anger, fear, or pain. Once you learn to convert it, you unlock your true spiritual authority. God knows you carry the ability to turn every hardship into a flame that lights your ascent. Imagine taking the very weight that once held you back and using it as fuel to rise. This is the power of transmutation. When you master the movement of your own energy, you stop simply surviving your life and begin co-creating it. Consciously, you are no longer pushed around by lower vibrations like worry or frustration. Instead, you take that same force and reshape it into creativity, compassion, and divine clarity. God placed this ability within you as a sacred gift. You are never a prisoner of your emotions, nor a servant to your circumstances. When you embrace this skill, every form of energy becomes a potential blessing. This is your spiritual power, chosen one. Step into it and watch your life evolve in extraordinary ways. Temptation is a force that can easily pull you off your sacred track, whether it appears as physical indulgence, mental distraction, or negative thought spirals. It can quietly blur the vision of your higher calling. But God knows the strength rooted in your soul, and He knows you have the power to rise above what tries to pull you down. Temptation is not an enemy to fear. It is a threshold to cross. Each time you choose not to fall into it, you become stronger. This path is not about flawless behavior. It is about continual growth. Each step you take toward your divine purpose brings you deeper into meaning and fulfillment. God has already given you everything necessary to stay aligned. You only need to trust His direction and believe in your ability. To remain centered, temptation will appear again and again, but it does not have to rule you. You carry the authority to walk past it, to keep your eyes on the horizon of your calling. When you anchor yourself in purpose and turn away from distractions, you will feel your connection with the divine deepen, and peace will take root within you. Self-control stands as one of the greatest tools you can acquire on your spiritual path. God knows that learning to master yourself is the foundation of awakening. Without this mastery, your impulses can scatter your attention and pull you away from the blueprint of your soul. But once you understand self-control, you reclaim your sacred power and return to harmony with the divine will. Self-control holds nothing to do with suppressing joy or freedom. It is about understanding that your real strength comes from guiding your inner world. When you steady your impulses, you create space to choose what aligns with your higher self, and this choice is what opens the gateway to awakening. The moment you realize you are not merely your cravings or emotions, but a divine being with a destiny, everything changes. God sees the magnitude of your potential, and He knows that through self-control you will rise into the fullness of your mission. As you practice this mastery, you draw nearer to your truest self, and your life begins to reflect the wisdom and clarity shaping your spirit. It is through self-control that you step fully into the life meant for your soul. Desire carries immense power. It can lift you to your greatest achievements, or it can quietly lead you astray. God knows that desire itself is not wrong. It is a natural part of your human experience. But if your desires fall out of alignment with your higher purpose, they can guide you down paths that do not honor your destiny. Learning to direct your desires is the way you bring your energy back into harmony with the divine plan. When you master your desires, you stop living under the sway of impulse and start moving with sacred intention. You come to understand that behind every desire lies a deeper longing for connection, love, meaning, and fulfillment. By aligning these desires with God's vision, you begin living a life filled with purpose, depth, and spiritual richness. God already holds a plan for your journey, and your desires are woven into it. But for this plan to unfold, you must learn how to uplift your desires and aim them at the highest good. When you do, your energy becomes a force of divine creation, propelling you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. When you learn how to redirect your energy, you access a transformative current that can elevate every part of your life. God knows the power within you to create, to heal, to awaken, and to inspire. But this sacred potential reveals itself only when your energy is used with intention. To redirect your energy means choosing to give your focus to what truly nourishes you, your spiritual growth, your purpose, your bond with the divine. When you align your energy with your calling, everything in your world begins to reorganize. You feel your clarity deepen, your creativity expand, and peace settle into your days. Obstacles that once felt heavy become lessons that strengthen you, and the trials you face become the moments you move through, become pathways rising beneath you, guiding you toward the higher intention that has always been seeded within your spirit. The source has already breathed into you the ability to reshape the course of your existence, and the hour has come for you to awaken that power. When you decide to turn your inner current in a new direction, an unseen horizon opens, overflowing with sacred possibility. Your days begin to shift before you, transforming in ways you could never imagine, as the strength you once allowed to drain away on passing illusions becomes fuel for your awakening and your wholeness. Those quick pleasures that glitter for a moment may draw you in with their false glow, but they can never offer the deep serenity and lasting meaning your heart aches for. The divine recognizes that the calling placed upon you is infinitely more profound than the fleeting offerings the world presents. The habits and desires that once pulled you away have not been feeding your soul. They have quietly blocked you from stepping into the life designed for your becoming. It is time to release the chase for things that end in emptiness and choose instead the purpose that fills you from within. When you honor the reason you were created, you discover a joy that surpasses anything temporary. As you lean into your sacred responsibility, you align with a wellspring of peace that cannot be shaken. The vision the divine holds for you is more radiant than anything passing pleasures can ever promise. Walk into the mission created for you, and everything else will fall into order. When you embrace your true direction, a deeper meaning rises, one that sustains you across the span of your lifetime. The one who crafted you already knows the path that will nourish your soul. Now you must dare to trust the plan written for your destiny. Beloved one, the divine sees every possibility within you. Nothing about you is hidden. Every gift, every strength, every seed of potential has been placed in you for a reason, and you have been prepared for all that your purpose requires. But to complete the assignment waiting for you, you must channel your life force toward what truly matters. This moment calls you to enter your full spiritual stature, to stop losing sacred time, and to begin shaping a life aligned with the design God has placed over your story. The world is yearning for your light, and your rare abilities are waiting to be unveiled. But they cannot blossom until you choose to direct your energy toward the higher path carved for your soul. The divine has been waiting with patience for you to rise and walk into the greatness that has always lived within you. Trust what has been planted in your spirit. Redirect your strength and witness your world shift. You carry more power than you ever believed possible. This is your hour to fulfill the purpose you were sent here to embody. The divine knows exactly what you can do. Will you rise and claim it? Deep within the quiet center of your being, you have always sensed that life is far richer than what the eyes can see. A sacred intention has been placed in your heart, one that calls to you even when you try not to listen. Yet for so long, you have run from it, questioned it, or dismissed the gentle pull that has been guiding you. Now the truth stands before you. Your purpose has been waiting, and you are fully capable of stepping into it. Turning away from your calling may offer a brief sense of comfort, but it will never bring you the fulfillment you crave. The longer you deny what your soul knows, the heavier your restlessness grows. That discomfort is not a mistake. It is the divine whispering that your life is meant for more than survival. Nothing about your journey has been random. Your calling is ancient, chosen for you long before you could understand it. The one who formed you knows your capacity and waits for you to awaken to it. When you embrace the mission created for you, everything in your life begins to align with purpose. Events that once seemed disconnected reveal their meaning. Encounters, opportunities, and challenges form a pattern that guides you forward. As you step into your divine rhythm, your world becomes intentional, and your path becomes clear. So, beloved one, release the urge to evade your truth. Your moment has arrived. You have been gifted with all the tools needed to rise, and the divine is waiting for your answer. It is time to stop hiding and start walking with courage toward the destiny crafted for you. The instant you choose to stop running is the instant your awakening begins. You have spent so long moving without direction, caught in currents of distractions, temptations, and empty promises. But the divine knows that genuine awakening does not unfold through external pursuit. It begins with the choice to pause and look inward. Stopping is not passivity. It is sacred intention. In stillness, you open a doorway to hear what has always been speaking within you. In the quiet, your soul reveals itself. The inner voice that was drowned out by noise returns to guide you. The distractions that once held authority crumble, and you begin remembering the essence of who you truly are. Through this pause, your vision transforms. The demands of the world lose their urgency, and the pressure to imitate others fades. You reconnect to the unique journey meant only for you. In the calm, clarity rises, showing you the way forward. The divine knows the longing within your spirit. Your rebirth is already unfolding. The moment you choose stillness, everything begins to move in your favor. Fear has walked beside you for years, whispering lies, clouding your courage, and convincing you that safety lies in staying small. Whether the fear was of failing, of being rejected, or of walking into the unknown, it has kept you from stepping into your real strength. But the divine knows that fear is powerless in the presence of the sacred force within you. You were never created to live caged by dread. You were designed to rise above it. Fear often disguises itself as protection, promising to shield you from pain. But all it truly does is confine you, limit you, restrain you from the life destined for your spirit. When you allow fear to choose your steps, you diminish the radiance of your own potential. You shrink yourself to avoid discomfort, and you miss the doors that were meant to elevate you. But you were never called to shrink. You were created to ascend. The moment you confront what frightens you, its power dissolves. The divine strength within you is far greater than any fear that confronts you. Each step you take toward the unknown strengthens your faith and deepens your alignment with your purpose. Fear may linger, but it no longer governs your journey. The divine sees your capability. You were not born to serve fear, but to transcend it. When you stop allowing fear to dictate your choices, your limitless nature awakens. In a world overflowing with noise, it is easy to forget what matters. But beloved one, your path to clarity begins with choosing where your attention flows. You have been entrusted with a sacred mission, one that requires your unwavering focus. The world will endlessly offer distractions, but you must decide where your energy will live. When you reclaim your focus, you begin to see your truth more clearly. You stop striving for the approval of others and begin living for the purpose engraved in your soul. Your energy sharpens, your movement becomes intentional, and your actions align with your calling. No longer do you drift in confusion or uncertainty. You become grounded in your divine direction. Redirecting your focus may demand discipline, awareness, and the courage to release what drains you. But each time you return your attention to your higher purpose, your bond with the divine deepens. This is the gateway to true clarity. When the world's noise fades, the voice within you becomes unmistakable. The divine knows the clarity you desire. It is waiting for you, ready to unfold as soon as you commit your energy to your mission. Let distractions fall away. Center yourself on what truly matters and watch your life realign with purpose. In a culture obsessed with approval, it is tempting to seek affirmation from those around you. You may find yourself yearning for praise, recognition, or acceptance. But beloved one, the divine reminds you that the only validation you truly need is already yours. The world's approval fades as quickly as it comes, but the affirmation of the divine is timeless. When you measure your worth by the opinions of others, you surrender your power. You allow external voices to define you, and you lose sight of who you are. But when you release the need for earthly validation, you reclaim yourself. You return to the truth that the divine has already called you worthy. Your value is not shaped by human judgment, but by the sacred identity placed within you. Divine approval is unconditional. It is not earned or negotiated. It is inherent, yours from the beginning. When you embrace this truth, your confidence rises from within. You no longer seek to be seen by the world, because you know you are already seen by the source who created you. You already hold the truth of who you are and the vastness of what you are able to become, and nothing outside of you needs to confirm your worth for you to rise into your full strength. The quiet blessing of the divine is more than enough to lead your steps toward the direction that has always been meant for you. Your past, with all its twists and shadows, does not chain you, chosen soul. Too often, we let the missteps, the wounds, and the painful echoes of yesterday convince us that we are undeserving of what comes next. We tell ourselves stories that shrink us, believing that our struggles define the whole of who we are, as if our journey ends where regret begins. But the divine sees that your past is only a fragment of the greater narrative. It is one page, not the entire book. You are not the sum of what once went wrong. Every fall you endured, every storm you survived, has shaped the strength you carry today. What has come before has formed you, but it does not have the authority to confine you. The instant you choose to stop, merging your identity with where you've been is the instant you step into the person you were born to become. The divine has already extended forgiveness over every part of your story. And now you must release yourself and walk forward with a renewed heart. Your destiny has already been rewritten in grace. You are seen as whole, as worthy, as capable of fulfilling the mission your spirit carries. When you finally let go of the shame and the limiting narratives tied to your past, you create room for the blessings the divine has been waiting to send your way. Your future is not dictated by your history. It unfolds according to the direction you choose to take now. Step out of the shadows of what once held you and rise into the brilliance of your calling. Greater chapters await you. Trust the unfolding and welcome the new life already prepared for you. Chosen one, you were never created to shrink yourself. From the very first breath you were given, your spirit was designed for radiance. Yet again and again, you've silenced your brilliance, accepted less than what your soul deserves, or dimmed your inner light just to fit into places that were never meant to hold you. But the divine knows your depth, knows the immensity of all you can do, and watches as you settle for fragments of what was meant to be whole. Shrinking yourself is a quiet way of sabotaging your spirit. It is how you hide from the very power that was placed in you from the beginning. But you were not crafted to be small. You were crafted to illuminate. You were made to influence the world in ways only you can. You carry gifts that no one else carries. And the world is waiting for the moment you stop apologizing for who you are and begin offering your essence without fear. When you stop playing small, you rise into your truest expression. You stop burying your talents beneath doubt and instead, you trust the strength that flows through you. Your voice steadies. Your purpose awakens. Your soul expands. The divine has already poured into you everything necessary to fulfill your purpose. It is time to stop shrinking and start stepping boldly into your greatness. Let your divine energy take its place. Claim the life that was always meant for you. The search for fulfillment outside ourselves can feel endless, as if joy was something to chase in material things, relationships, or titles. We convince ourselves that the answers lie somewhere beyond us. But beloved, the divine knows that you have always carried enough within your own being. You do not need the world to validate your existence, because the fullness you seek has been rooted in your spirit since the moment you were created. The pleasures found outside may offer a moment of comfort, but they cannot quiet the deeper longing that lives within. You are already whole. Your worth is not measured by what you possess or by the opinions of those around you. It is anchored in the truth of who you are as a creation of the divine. When you finally recognize this, the endless search ends. You stop chasing and start listening to the peace that rises from within. The love, joy, and serenity your soul craves have always been held in the sacred connection between you and the divine. When you release the hunger for external approval, you begin cultivating the inner harmony that cannot be taken from you. You are already enough. The divine sees your worth clearly. Now it is time for you to see it as well. When you stop looking outward for meaning, you discover the profound stillness that has been waiting inside you all along. Too often, we accept far less than what our spirit deserves. We settle because fear whispers that more is impossible, or insecurity convinces us that abundance belongs to someone else. But chosen one, the divine knows you were crafted for fullness. You were given a spiritual inheritance overflowing with life. Yet you have spent years grasping only fragments of what is rightfully yours. Settling is a form of denying your own essence. Each time you choose less, you tell yourself that the life of abundance, joy, and purpose promised to you is somehow beyond your reach. But the truth is simple. You were made for more. You were created to experience the depth of existence, to taste joy without restriction, to walk in purpose without hesitation. The divine has already prepared an abundant path for you. Your inheritance has already been set aside in your name. But you must stop accepting mediocrity and step into alignment with your highest self. You do not need perfection, only the willingness to embrace who you truly are. It is time to stop settling, to rise into your divine inheritance, and to claim the life of abundance that has always belonged to you. The greatest barrier standing between you and your destiny is the tendency to wait. Procrastination, quiet and subtle, keeps you suspended in a space where dreams cannot breathe. You may find yourself waiting for clarity, waiting for courage, waiting for a sign, waiting for the perfect conditions to begin. But the divine knows that your power exists only in the present. The moment to act is not later, it is now. Procrastination is birthed from fear, from doubt, from the belief that you are somehow unprepared. We delay because we convince ourselves that we must perfect everything first. But the divine has already given you everything needed to take the next step. When you begin moving, the universe responds. Doors open, energy shifts, paths emerge that were invisible before. The divine acknowledges your readiness and aligns circumstances in ways your mind could not predict. When you stop delaying, you break loose from fear and hesitation. You fall into rhythm with divine timing, where your steps create momentum, and momentum creates transformation. The perfect moment is not waiting for you in the future. It arises the instant you dare to act. Stop postponing your life. The time is now. Take the first step and watch how everything else aligns. The moment to act is not later, it is now. Procrastination is birthed from fear, from doubt, from the belief that you are somehow unprepared. We delay because we convince ourselves that we must perfect everything first. But the divine has already given you everything needed to take the next step. When you begin moving, the universe responds. Doors open, energy shifts, paths emerge that were invisible before. The divine acknowledges your readiness and aligns circumstances in ways your mind could not predict. When you stop delaying, you break loose from fear and hesitation. You fall into rhythm with divine timing, where your steps create momentum, and momentum creates transformation. The perfect moment is not waiting for you in the future. It arises the instant you dare to act. Stop postponing your life. The time is now. Take the first step and watch how everything else aligns.